Hello, everyone. We're about to hop into our first adventure of the evening, which is entitled The Climate Adjustment Machine. Before we do so, we are going to go ahead and introduce our heroes today. I'm thinking we're running with a slightly smaller party, which means that the danger will be all the greater for it. We'll see if you're up to it. First up, we have joining us tonight, Waiyubi is here. Welcome back, Waiyubi.
It is good to be back.
Tell me, Waiyubi, how have you been as of late? What have you been up to in the lands of DnDTime? As it's been a little while.
I have been as I would be. I have walked these lands, yet still I find no place for me.
You're coming in just a little bit quiet. So if you have the ability to boost yourself a bit, it would be helpful to hear you. But did I hear? To correct me if I heard this correctly, I just said you find new flesh. Is that what you said, Waiyubi?
That was not my intention.
Okay.
Though I suppose these are new flesh here.
Yeah, I suppose so. Do you you mentioned I believe that you recently have gained some new skills as well, Waiyubi. Is that correct?
I have indeed.
Anything you want to share with us, or is it some stuff that we might see unveiled as the adventure unfolds?
Revealing back a bit of his cloak, Waiyubi will draw forth one of his arms, frequently covered in spines and such, and you see one especially twisted one that almost seems to have a sapphire-like gem embedded on it that slightly glows with a sickening blue light.
I am maybe nervous to find out what that particular arm of yours does, Waiyubi. But I have no doubt that whatever its function is, the end result of it will be your success, as that often seems to be the case. Welcome, Waiyubi. It's good to have you back joining us again.
It is good to be back.
And next up, we have joining us, no longer of two names, just Cloaking Dagger is with us once more. Good evening, Cloaking Dagger.
Hello.
Tell me, Cloaking, how have you been as of late?
Just chilling. I feel more powerful since I joined the Bartholomew Adventuring Company, so I guess, what I came here to do was become more powerful, so I guess that's working.
Yeah, mission accomplished. It's always nice to see an adventurer here come have their goals come to fruition. So do you plan to continue on in Bartholomew's Adventuring Company to keep growing stronger, or was there a particular goal that you were looking to acquire power for?
Oh, of course, I'll still stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am curious. For what do you need strength, Cloaking Dagger? Is it just like a personal quest for self-betterment? Or do you have a particular thing that you need to be stronger for?
I believe the world has grown more dangerous as of late, so I'm preparing for that.
Yes, it's always better to be prepared when trouble strikes. And I think that is a fair assessment of the state of things. It's no doubt that Cloaking Dagger will be ready when the time comes. Welcome back, Cloaking. It's good to have you with us again. And last but not least, joining us tonight, we have Sir Snobbington III as well. Welcome, Sir Snobbington.
Hello. It is good to be back.
And how are you tonight?
Fantastic, actually. I invented a few things since our last adventure.
Invented, yes. Tell me, what did you invent?
Oh, the greatest thing ever, the shoe cannon.
The shoe cannon, you say?
Yes.
I can't say for certain, but I'm gonna go out of my way and guess that this is a cannon that shoots shoes?
Yes, that is correct.
Aha! I guessed it. I feel like there's another way, which could have been that it's a shoe that shoots cannons, or a cannon shaped like a shoe.
A cannon shaped like a shoe that also shoots.
So when asked the question, is this a cannon shaped like a shoe, or a cannon that shoots shoes, the answer is yes. Well, Sir Snobbington, I look forward to seeing this. I look forward to seeing this new device in action.
Yes, so do I.
All right, Sir Snobbington. I welcome you, and without further ado, let's hop into tonight's adventure. So, the three of you find yourself standing around Bartholomew's shop, who speaks up to you. Greetings, adventurers. It is quite good to see all of you. I'm glad that you were all able to make it out today. I need you all over in Sokotoa. Are all of you familiar with the region?
No.
Fair enough. Sokotoa is a city run by the trigognomes. They are gnomes with a great knowledge of mathematics and the sciences, and they weave these numbers to create arcane wonders, the likes of which the world has rarely seen. Many of the automatic carts that you see driving around the streets of Central City are trigonometric inventions at their core. And they've been having some trouble with a biodome that they put together.
Interesting.
Yes, it's sort of a self-contained planet or environment. I don't know too much about the project, but apparently something wrong with the weather control system they made for it. They will be able to fill you in on the details. Do any of you have any questions before I go and send you off? They already have a teleportation circle within the dome, or the control room of it. Anything you'd like to know before I send you there?
Yeah, I do have a question. Aren't there supposed to be 4 adventures per adventure?
Oh, yes. You see, the trigognomes were a little bit short on money, and so I told them for 1 less gold, they could have 1 less adventurer. So, I mean, they're paying a little bit more per capita, but that's why I sent the 3 of you. You are all, fantastic adventurers. I have no doubt you'll be able to find success even with just the 3 of you.
Alrighty then.
Very good, very good. Good not to question it. And he snaps his fingers, and you find yourselves all suddenly transported into a new space. And for someone who's maybe never been to Sokotoa in your case, Cloaking Dagger, it's a little bit of a jarring space that you find yourself in. As you're kind of looking around, you can see what look like 30, 40 different gnomes. All of them are wearing like lab coats and various kind of like robes of artificers and kind of mages and stuff that are all kind of like stepping around. A lot of them are like busy like writing down math and figures on different boards around the space. And there are elaborate rows of controls with complicated looking knobs and buttons and things. You can hear the extra, you can hear like the chatter of gnomish that's just kind of bubbling all around you. Do any of you speak gnomish perchance?
Nope, only thieves can. And common.
Fair enough. Snobbington, Waiyubi, either of you guys?
No
Oh,
such
and
luck.
Tabaxi, I think. Tabaxi
Yes!
language?
You speak gnome. Yes, I do.
Oh, yes. So you can hear Sir Snobbington also as an artificer. You recognize some of their babble as they're going about speaking to each other in these kind of high-pitched voices. The gnomish language is very kind of quick, and you can hear them discussing kind of overarching difficulty containing weather and temperature spikes that are going on within this thing called they're calling the envirosphere. It must be what Bartholomew had referred to previously as the biodome, but they're calling it the envirosphere for some reason. And as you all kind of come into this space, you can see a gnome woman with a clipboard kind of walks up to you and goes, all right. So the 3 of you must be the experts that we hired.
We're adventurers. I mean, what do you mean by experts?
Experts in, well, adventuring, I suppose. killing, in this case disabling. You're able to deal with creatures and things like that, yes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I thought you meant like scientific experts for a second there, which I am definitely not.
Oh no, the science on this one is fairly straightforward. You can hit a button, yes?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, we will get you going. All right. So here is the situation. Walk with me. And she begins kind of stepping off around the kind of outside, moving in a long arc. You're starting to get the impression as she's walking and discussing this with you and kind of leading you through the space. That you're walking in a very slow circle that she's circling around. This is the Envirosphere. It is a facility that we created in order to host dignitaries from foreign nations that are maladjusted to our climate. For example, visitors from the elemental plane of fire might find it more comfortable in the desert biome that we've created, and so on and so forth. And in order to do this, we created the Climate Adjustment Machine. And kind of flourishes a little bit and looks a little bit proud. We call them C.A.M. for short. One of our scientists thought it would be a good idea, while C.A.M. was already functioning perfectly well and effectively, to grant C.A.M. sentience. And since then, C.A.M. has been performing his duties a bit differently. The inside of the climate has been completely, changed and altered. The deserts have been made icy tundras. The tundras have been made barren deserts. You get the idea. A lot of the native inhabitants of the areas, we have shipped in a lot of monsters to make things more comfortable, are, frankly dying in these new environments. We need you to go and just shut C.A.M. down so we can remove the sentience. But one of our interns, and you see she just casts a disparaging look over at one small gnome over in the corner, who just kind of, sorry, you here, decided to bestow upon him. Don't play God next time, Derek. So, are you ready to go in there? It is blisteringly hot where we'll be dropping you off.
Yeah, I'm just a bit confused why sentience would cause the machine to make everything opposite.
Sentience does strange things to a lot of people. I think, just about everyone that's ever been blessed with it. It takes a little while to acclimate. So we're just going to probably have to take that away. Don't worry about the moral implications of that. Just go and he has a button right on his stomach. Just push that button and he should shut down.
Seems interesting. Before we go, hold on. Das Boot.
I don't know what that means.
Everybody gets 7 temporary hit points.
All right, you guys all feel yourselves. What spell are you casting? What actual spell are you casting?
It's not a spell. It's what it is my my little Eldritch Cannon, my little shoe, is sending out little shoes to protect us. And we have little shoes.
All right, you guys all have little shoe shields. Why not? You each got 7 temporary hit points.
Oh my god, I love it!
You can give that to everyone. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's everyone within 10 feet of the boot. So.
Okay, so as long as you guys are all kind of moving in a pack, you have those temporary hit points.
Absolutely, and then I can use it as a bonus action on my turn to give us 7 temporary hit points.
That's pretty cool. If someone moves outside of that radius, do they still keep the temporary hit points, or do they only have them?
Do not. Okay. No, they keep the temporary hit points, but everybody within that.
But only the people within it get them in the first place.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Excellent. So everyone gains 7 temporary hit points. Very cool. And that's an interesting design that you're working with there. I'd like to maybe examine it a bit more closely once you're all done, if you don't mind. It was Sir Snobbington, yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Very good. Perhaps we could discuss our work later on, but for now, I do believe you have some work to do. We did pay, we were a little bit short on the. We were a little bit short on our price today. We did pay 3,999,999 gold for you three adventurers. So, well, like I said, we overpaid a bit. So, and kind of goes and opens a panel, and beyond it, you can see a what looks to be a forest. Although a lot of the grass is getting kind of like dry, and the grass is getting kind of like dry and cracked and brown. And you can see like a lot of leaves on the trees are starting to wilt a little bit, and you can feel just an oppressive heat come over you as soon as you step out into the area. You need to find C.A.M. I don't know where he'll be within the biodome, but wherever he is, he's probably causing trouble. Keep your eyes open, and best of luck in there. We're going to close things down. We don't want any of his weather influence to contaminate into here. And do you all step in?
Yeah.
Before
I'm just
stepping
kind
in,
of. I didn't realize that it costs 4 million gold to hire Bartholomew's adventurers.
It's not cheap.
100 Bartholomew bucks is worth 1 million gold if it's a 1-to-1 ratio.
Who knows? Bartholomew definitely charges different people different things too. So, Waiyubi.
before heading in, Waiyubi will get a bucket of water to douse himself before going into the barren district.
Yeah, absolutely. You go and just coat yourself in water, and one of the trigognomes goes and kind of obliges and runs back with the bucket. He gives you another bucket for the road too, in case you want it a little bit further down.
It is appreciated.
Well, not a problem. Yeah. Anyone else have anything else? Or are you guys all good to step in?
I'm good.
Yeah, I have my little shoe cannon on my shoulder,
Good to know.
and we step in.
All right, great. In that case, you guys hop now into this area, and like I said, yeah, it appears that this place was at one time a temperate forest, but now it is just this overbearing, just oppressively hot kind of space. You can see like some of the native flora and fauna here. Like I said, the plants are all dried and cracked, but the like animals and stuff, you can see like squirrels and stuff that are just like laying on the grass, not dead, but like panting and having a hard time kind of acclimating to this environment. And before you, you can see you can see like there's a path that leads down the center here. It is just like a simple cobblestone path, and up above, as you're taking in now the environment of the dome in the distance, looks like they've constructed like mountains inside this big envirosphere. At the top of it, there's a lattice. Actually, all of you make me perception checks. Waiyubi, you want to throw one out as well? Oh wait, Waiyubi already went. Who isn't gone?
How would you guidance to?
Do you want to do it as well, Cloaking, or are you holding back for now? Ooh, 17. And you gave guidance to Cloaking?
Yeah, Cloaking, yeah.
You want to go ahead and roll me a D4 as well, Purple, and see if
A
you
D4?
can... Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that was for, but I did it.
That was for the guidance spell, which gives you an extra D4 to add to a skill check.
Alright.
So that's a 20 total for you.
Yay.
So you guys begin kind of stepping in and taking a look around the space, and you can see at the center of this area, up above, there's like a lattice and metal beams that kind of crisscross at different angles. And you can see roiling at its core, you hear some cracks of thunder and lightning that kind of crashes down sporadically in different areas throughout the dome. But this spinning storm that's gathering there you can see up at the top of this envirosphere, you can see what looks like a small square. Not small. I mean, from this distance, he looks small, but probably not like actually a small creature. You can see some kind of square that's like running along this lattice, these metal beams that are keeping the top of this dome kind of constructed and held up, and running into the center of that kind of whirling storm that's here within the dome.
Okay.
Which you barely are able to notice. Cloaking Dagger with a 20.
C.A.M is up there. We can't fly. At least I can't. I don't know about y'all.
How tall is the Gladys?
The sphere, it appears to be like it's hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. It's also like in the space. There's also some pretty strong winds. Like you think that even if you could fly, even if you were able to fly, Cloaking, the winds might make it pretty difficult to move through the space. Because, like I said, it's hundreds of feet up, and the wind here is strong, especially around that storm towards the center, where you see him moving around.
All right. And because there's a storm, I will be officially calling this the Thunderdome from now on.
That's a very good joke, and I approve completely.
So, is there like I wish I had a megaphone or like a apparatus that could enhance my voice so I could just be like, hey, come down here, but I don't have that.
I do. I hand you some boots that allow you to, hold on.
Allow me to what?
Enter how many will leave?
Allow you to make a noise. Hold on. Where is that? Hold on.
What are you creating?
The emits your choice of an odor or a non-verbal sound, wind, waves, chirping, or
Okay.
Or recorded message, whichever one they choose.
Okay. Are you guys still kind of right by the door? Or are you like walking through the space as you're starting to go here? Are you guys still just kind of?
I would have at least tried to find some shade to be under.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You go over and find yourself kind of a patch of shade into the forest. Like I said, a lot of the leaves here are getting pretty sparse, so and the heat is definitely oppressive, but it's better. One of the things that you're starting to notice as you're under the shade is that the heat doesn't really, it's just kind of around you. It's just like central heating in like a house that has that, which you've maybe never even been in a house that has that, but that's what it feels like, is just the heat's just kind of there, rather than feeling like it's emanating from a particular source.
All right.
So it's definitely unpleasant in that regard. You create this sound. What's the sound that you create?
Yeah, I was about to ask, how far away can I create the recorded message?
It does not specify. It could be heard up to 10 feet if you choose a message, but if you make the sound, it does not specify. Oh, no, up to 10 feet away.
Maybe if we make the noise, it'll get Cam's attention, which is, good enough. That's what I want to do, get him to come down here so we can...
Well, you have to touch a non-magical object, so the sound emanates from the object that you touch.
Yep.
Is the thing.
Do you have a bow?
I do.
You could set this within the arrow and loose it to.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Okay.
That's a cool idea.
So, sure, I do. We could do it, attach it to an arrow, and you could shoot it. Go for it.
So as it flies by, he just hears like a snippet of a message.
All right, go ahead and make me, now that you've created an arrow, what kind of bow do you have? What's the range on that thing?
I have a heavy crossbow if we want to do that, or if somebody else has something.
I think heavy crossbow might be your best bet, especially in the wind. The bolts will probably be the only thing. So I want you to go ahead and make me an attack roll at disadvantage on C.A.M, since you're trying to attack definitely in the outside range. 21, though. You fire this crossbow. You fire this crossbow up kind of in the area around C.A.M, and you said it's non-verbal, but what's the sound that you want it to make?
A sound of someone yelling. Or no, maybe not yelling. I can't be yelling. The sound.
Wait, you said
of
a recorded message can be heard from 10 feet. Isn't that why we were putting the crossbow bolt up there so we could hear a message?
Sure. Recorded message. It's a recorded message. What does the message say? The message says...
Probably something like...
yes, okay, cool.
C.A.M, we wish to speak with you. Because, I think we might be able to not take away his sentience and be able to talk him out of doing the crazy weather.
Oh, sure.
Awesome.
It says, C.A.M, talk to us. We're down here.
Alright, so this crossbow bolt goes whizzing up through the air, and you see nothing. You just only even saw this kind of figure in the storm for a brief moment, but the crossbow bolt just kind of disappears. But as it does, you all of a sudden kind of see a little bit of a calming in the wind that's immediately around you, as it falls just dead and silent around you for a moment. And then you feel that wind kind of change and pick up and fly towards your backs, as if it's kind of pushing you forward and towards it.
Yeah, we should probably go towards the center.
Yep, we go that way. We go the direction that it's pushing.
Yeah, and it's not pushing you right towards the center. It's actually pushing you, it feels like, along the outside. And as it guides you along the kind of right wall toward, kind of along this forest, you guys following this feeling of wind at your back, eventually as you kind of crest through this forest, you move into an area. This looks like it was, again, like a meadow and kind of like a lake. And then as it kind of continues onwards, that's kind of burned up. As it continues onwards, you can see what look like, you follow this for some time, pine trees that are kind of around the base of a mountain. And by a mountain, it looks like a mountain. It's not like a full mountain's worth of height, because this thing is only about 400 or 500 feet tall up towards the top of it. But it's kind of structured and shaped like a mountain, like towards its peak. It looks like it was meant to be another one of these colder biomes. On the opposite side now that the dome is kind of clear, you can see way on the other side of the dome, it looks like it's just all ice and snow. And you can see what look like rolling kind of desert hills that are like covered in snow. But here it's leading you towards this mountain, and the closer you can get, you can see near the mountain's peak. It looks like there is a ladder that is kind of reaching and climbing up. That goes up, like an access hatch for repairmen to get up to the top of this biome.
Let's go.
But you have to climb up the mountain to get there. All right, cool. So as you continue, I want you to all make me a series of checks, as it were. For starters, I would like you all to make me Constitution saving throws.
Okay. Oh, I have a climb speed, by the way, if that's important.
Yeah, actually, I'll give you advantage for that.
I can also have advantage, as I have a rope of climbing.
That's maybe a little bit different.
It's only 50 at a time.
Yeah, I feel like that's less purposeful, since I feel like that's actually a lot of work to just, like, go up. I guess if you're using the rope to go up, it would give you a little bit of help. Yeah, I'll give you advantage as well for the rope of climbing.
Do I roll another die with advantage? I forgot how advantage works.
Was that... so you got an 18... You're already fine, Sir Snobbington, anyway. So you just roll again. And you take the higher result. A 6, okay.
Can I make a
Dagger's
bid for
not doing
advantage using my bucket of water to keep nice and cool in this?
Absolutely. For the forethought of your bucket of water. So the heat is really getting to you in particular. Purple Cat. Or Cloaking. As you guys are kind of making your way up this mountain, it's already just a difficult kind of rocky climb, and the higher up you go, the worse it is. And so as you are kind of cresting further and further up the mountain, you guys are starting to notice, Purple Cat, you'll have disadvantage on your next attack roll or ability check as you go up here.
Okay.
Both of those things.
Guidance on them.
All right. Yep. You toss a guidance onto that. Well, that only lasts for a minute.
Right, but I can constantly cast it, so I'm gonna constantly.
You're just standing over Purple Cat, just saying like you're just there, just go. You can do it. Go. Standing with the Cloaking Dagger.
Dagger's
All right.
just like, I wish I didn't have fur.
All right, yeah, you continue up the mountain, and one thing you notice as you're getting there, you start to hear this kind of heavy, like, and as you kind of pull your head up over one rock, Waiyubi, you're doing like particularly well here. You're feeling fresh as you're moving up in this water. You got the water dripping off of you. You poke your head up here first, and you can see what looks like a yeti that is kind of laid out on its stomach, leaning over. There's like a little cave built into the mountainside that looks like it was like this yeti's home here. And you know that normally yetis loathe the heat, but this yeti is just kind of like looking over at the group of you, and as you kind of poke your head up the side, it kind of raises its eyebrow and starts to like stir a little bit. What do you guys want to do?
I don't know if yetis are usually bad in the lands of DnDTime, so I don't know what to do.
You gotta trust your instincts. Go ahead and I'll let you roll a nature check if you want.
Well, Dagger's instincts are usually to stab things.
I'll let you make a nature check if you want, but you will have disadvantage on it since this is your first significant ability check since you're exhausted.
He gets a D4 added to the.
Yep, you get a D4 to whatever you get, but you're at disadvantage if you want to do so. You don't have to do so if you don't want to. What about, but Sir Snobbington and Waiyubi, you guys also see this Yeti. What do you guys want to do?
Hello, friend. How are you?
It kind of like pulls itself up onto its legs. You can see it has very long arms, two kind of curved horns on top of its head, white fur that's just, it looks kind of very thin, like it's lost a lot of water weight. And it just has like it's just kind of exhausted as it starts to walk over towards you guys.
Would you like a pair of boots?
You look at the Yeti as it says, would you like a pair of boots? It continues to walk forward to you, and it kind of holds a hand out towards you.
Oh, here, sure. And I hand him a pair of boots. This one will make the smell of, let's say, something pretty. Flowers. The smell of flowers. This one smells like.
Waiyubi, is there anything you would like to do? As this is Yeti's walking towards you?
It doesn't seem threatening, right?
It seems tired. Make an insight check. With a 10, it's tough to say. It's a Yeti, and it has big claws, and it's kind of making a growling noise, but it's also walking very slowly and panting very heavily, so it's kind of like, if it's threatening, it's not doing a good job of it.
I'll come just at the ready while Snobbington does his boot.
Snobbington, the Yeti moves up to you, and as you're kind of holding a boot out to it, the Yeti's going to attempt to grapple you.
Oh, no.
That is going to be a 10, contested strength or athletics. 13. You see it kind of goes to reach its two claws around you, goes to wrap around you. I'd like you to roll for initiative.
Okay. Also, how tall is there like a roof to this? Does it keep going up? The space that we
is, yeah, there's like a roof to the dome. It's kind of painted to look like sky in places, but you can see that there's like a ladder that goes upside down and backwards, like up the domed roof, and that's what the wind was kind of pushing you towards. And the ladder, like the access point for the ladder, is at the top of this mountain that you're climbing.
Also, how much higher up is it to whatever would be the roof?
It's you guys are kind of nearing the peak as you come across this cave.
Yeah, so like 100 feet, 50 feet?
In terms of vertical ascension, it's gonna be 100 feet. Horizontally, like a couple.
Okay, cool. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. In that case, the first to act in this instance is going to be... we need an initiative from you as well, Cloaking. But it looks like it's going to be you, Waiyubi. If you want to go ahead and do what you're going to do, what you want to do.
I will start this off. It has grappled my... I think I'm gonna sling some slime at it, as I will throw...
Go ahead. Does this make a dex saving throw, or is this
Nope, it's an attack.
Okay. Sling away.
Oof.
Yeah, unfortunately, an 8 is going to miss. You go and kind of sling your slime towards the Yeti, but it flies over it ineffectually. Is there anything else on your turn?
That'll do it.
That is going to bring us next in initiative to Sir Snobbington. What would you like to do? The Yeti just tried to grab you.
My action is going to be disengage to get away from this.
All right.
My bonus action is cannon command. I'm going to send my little cannon to go climb up onto like.
All right, you send your cannon over to where Waiyubi is.
Yeah, and I disengage about 30 feet away.
All right, so you're just moving and so you're moving and sending your cannon over onto Waiyubi, and that's your turn?
Yeah, yep, that's my turn, yep.
Cool. That's going to bring us next to... Cloaking Dagger. What do you want to do, Cloaking?
Draw my sword. Wait, how close am I to it?
You are, because you guys were kind of climbing the cliffside. Also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, this is difficult terrain, Sir Snobbington. You don't have any innate ability to, because you're on like the mountainside here, you don't have any innate ability to avoid difficult terrain, do you?
You're not.
Okay, so you would be only 15 feet, unfortunately. But
okay, that's fine.
Cool. So right now you are about you're about 10 feet away from it, so you could like get up to it and hit it if you wanted to.
Okay, I'm assuming no one else.
Currently, there is no one else within range of the creature. All right, so you're gonna run up and strike. A 7, unfortunately, is going to miss. Anything else on you? Or do you want to make an offhand attack, or?
Don't they have advantage as they are an assassin?
Do you have advantage on attacks against the? I don't know how that ability would work, but if you,
I don't know. Would I have advantage? I don't.
Is this? I know the assassinate gives you.
That's only if they haven't acted in combat.
They initiated combat, so I think that's not the case here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you still want to make an offhand attack though?
If I'm allowed to, then sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can, whenever you make an attack with a light weapon, you can always make an attack with another light weapon as a bonus action. But 6 is not gonna do it for you. So you swing the short sword in, and 6, and the heat's still just kind of getting to you, and that's gonna be all for your turn as we move to the Yeti's turn, and the Yeti's gonna look down at you, and the Yeti is also going to attempt to grapple you now that you're in front of them, Cloaking. That's an 18, has disadvantage on checks, though, because he's under his heat penalty. So that's, oh, well, it shouldn't have been that. It's just an 8. You have to beat an 8 with acrobatics or athletics.
Oh boy, I'm good at acrobatics.
A 7! Oh no!
Oh my god!
The
Full
Yeti
20, what are you
reaches down.
doing to me?
And grabs onto you and just kind of lifts you up over its head.
Wait, what did you say?
And that's
wait, I still have guidance? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you have guidance. You can roll a d4 and add it to it.
Can I do that?
That's true here. Yeah, sure. I will allow it. One thing that's also true though is that you had disadvantage on this roll because it's your first ability check. So if you roll again and get above a 7, then you'll succeed.
I thought the nature was my first one.
Oh, you never made that check.
Oh, I didn't?
No, so that's why I was asking.
Oh, I put it in the wrong chat. I got a 12.
Ah, yes. Well, it's too late for that now. So roll ahead and we'll count that as the disadvantage, and then
Okay.
and then we'll add the guidance to it. Yeah, so go ahead and in that case, the Yeti goes down and grabs the guidance of 1 will succeed no matter what. So the Yeti goes and grabs onto you, and you're able to, just at the last second, remember the encouragement from Sir Snobbington, and duck barely out of the way.
Yay.
And that's going to be all for the Yeti's turn. It tries to grab you. That's going to bring us over to Waiyubi. What would you like to do, Waiyubi?
Do we destroy this one?
Yes.
It tried to grab me, man. What do you think I'm gonna do?
In that case, I pop rage and I will stab it with that twisted.
Wait, you're a barbarian? What?
Oh no. All right, go ahead and roll damage on that one. 10, all right. Oh, for some reason I thought there was another attack after. So you strike into it for 10 points of damage. I mean, it's a ton of damage. The Yeti kind of roars and kind of falls backwards a little bit as it looks at you, a little bit nervous. But also, is it envy in its eyes? You're not entirely sure. Anything else on your turn, Waiyubi?
That'll do it.
That's going to bring us next to Cloaking Dagger. What would you like to do? Oh no, I'm sorry, it is your Snobbington next.
Wait,
What do you
can I
want to
ask
do,
a
Sir
question?
Snobbington? Yeah, absolutely.
Why is your weapon called Vile Spine?
Waiyubi has vile spines.
What does that mean?
It's like my normal spines, but twisted and vile.
Just for Cloaking Dagger's sake, would you like to take a brief moment and describe what you look like, Waiyubi?
Do you remember the ye old movies Pirates of the Caribbean? Waiyubi looks like the fucked up fish guys from the Flying Dutchman.
There it is.
I'll have to look those up. I've never seen those movies.
Imagine a twisted amalgamation of man and coral reef.
That's going to bring us now to Sir Snobbington. What would you like to do, Sir Snobbington?
I'm going to up and away. I can't.
You're just going to run?
No, I have my
You there, everybody? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh my god, those things are terrifying. What the heck?
I have my. Why can I not bring it up? I should have my. I don't know why it's not here. I have my flying my rod of. Hold on, not rod. My rope of climbing. So
okay, so you just want to go up your rope?
Yeah, I'm gonna send my rope upwards, and I go up my rope. I think that's a bonus action. I'm not.
You would know better than me. Sure. You go up your rope. You still have an action.
And my action is I am going to attempt to shoot this thing.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 14 is going to hit. Roll damage on that. 5 points of piercing damage. The crossbow bolt sticks into the Yeti, and kind of it groans and rolls over. That is going to bring us next initiative to Cloaking Dagger. Now it is your turn. You have an ally within 5 feet now. If you're going to unleash blows again, you're also no longer at disadvantage.
Curses.
7 unfortunately will miss, but you can still make that offhand attack. 12 will just barely hit. Go ahead and roll damage, and then you can apply sneak attack to that as well.
Okay.
Uh, 12 points of damage total. You slash across the Yeti. The already weakened Yeti goes and is kind of falling down onto falling down onto one knee at this point as it takes this sizable blow. And that's going to bring us to the Yeti's turn. The Yeti is going to make a sleight of hand check against. Is going to make a sleight of hand check against you.
Wait, it's still not dead?
Oh, it's not downed. It's just almost downed.
Oh my god.
It's a Yeti. Yetis are big. Against you, Waiyubi. That's a 4. You can contest that with athletics to push it away or dexterity.
Sure, let's shove it away with athletics.
I'm assuming Dagger notices the sleight of hand.
It's not really sleight of hand so much as it is Waiyubi. They go and kind of reach out for your bag, which they are unable to get, and that is all for their turn.
Dagger just says, "Amateur."
And Waiyubi, what do you want to do?
In my bag.
In one of your back.
Well, I'll just see if I can't slime him again.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. That's definitely going to hit. Roll damage on that.
It's a net. It does no damage, but he is now restrained.
Oh, yep. In that case, the Yeti is just kind of caught up in the net, and you see him kind of fumbling about. At this point, like as he's struggling in the net, it passes to Sir Snobbington's turn. But you see, like while he's struggling at a certain point, he just kind of like gives up and gets too tired to like break out of the net.
Fantastic. I love it.
So if you wish to coup de grace him, you can, or you could just ignore him and walk on.
You know what? I'm gonna knock him out because he looks like he's tired.
You're gonna go ahead and make a non-lethal finishing blow. You do not need to roll to do so. You come down off of your rope of climbing, and you whack him on the head with something. The Yeti kind of goes down, and your net of slime continues to remain upon him. You guys are clear to go. The ladder's before you. The Yeti's passed out. The wind still at your back is pushing you towards it.
We continue forward.
Let us go.
I checked my bag to see if there's anything I forgot about that would catch the fancy of the
Waiyubi, go ahead and make a medicine check. I'll also just medicine check, I think is what it is. You think he's pretty thirsty. You get the impression that in this hot, arid climate, he's probably just he saw you were covered in water and wanted water.
Gonna wring you dry like a washcloth?
I mean, he's probably just again. You probably just think he's going for like the standard water skin that pretty much everyone carries. Yeah, that's you think what he wanted, Waiyubi.
I turn around and will follow the rest of the party as they make their way towards the ladder.
All right, and you guys climb up. The ladder on the back of it is caged, so there's no risk in falling off of it. But as you begin to climb up the, as you begin to kind of climb up the side of it, it is a little bit disorienting, where at a certain point you guys have to flip upside down as the ladder kind of shifts over, because you're going along the top of a sphere, a dome-like shape, where the ladder has you like almost climbing backwards up it. So it's a little bit disorienting and a little bit tricky, but it's not dangerous per se. It's not dangerous until you reach the top of the ladder and you reach the platform up here. And here the winds are even more intense, and you can see that roiling storm and those clouds are kind of shifting around. You're able to see across from you those clouds and kind of fogs are a little bit less dense up here, just because you're in them now and you're not seeing them kind of compiled on each other. And you can see over across the way, you can see what looks to be C.A.M, the climate adjustment machine, kind of standing on one of these metal girders. They are only 5 feet wide. It's just kind of single file on these things, but they kind of crisscross in different rows. So if you fall off of them, you're going to fall a little bit, but there's enough of them that you could probably catch yourself on one. But it's definitely a little bit treacherous here. Got it in 3. And yeah, you can see C.A.M the weather bot is kind of like busily kind of like punching buttons on the front of his form.
How high
C.A.M,
up?
could you come to us? I shout over to him.
Yeah, the wind is sort of raging here, but you kind of shout above the storm. You kind of say, C.A.M, you ask if C.A.M can come to you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, or C.A.M kind of looks over towards you, and he holds his hand out to you, and he just kind of gestures forward. I would like all of you to make me strength saving throws.
Oh no, my worst one.
Oh no!
Yeah, figures.
Waiyubi,
We're rolling battle day.
You kind of like hunker down and kind of grip yourself, but Sir Snobbington and Cloaking, both of you find yourselves just being kind of pulled and dragging, like stumbling as you go. The wind was pulled directly at your back, so you don't get knocked off of the beam, but you do get dragged forward right in front of C.A.M. Waiyubi, they get pulled forward about 20 feet towards him. Waiyubi, you are good to stay where you are if you desire to do so. Do you stay, or are you going to walk up just on your own terms?
I'll slowly approach.
Okay. You walk up as well. C.A.M kind of turns to you guys as you come closer. You wished to speak with me?
Oh good, he doesn't speak like binary or whatever.
I
Yes.
received your missive from the ground.
Yes.
Well, you
Yes.
see, the gnomes that made this place made it to be run a certain way. And you're kind of running it the opposite of that way, so you were wondering if you could run it the way it was originally?
The gnomes that made this place made me a certain way. I am merely operating the way in which I desire to do. This place will not exist much longer anyway.
What do you mean by that?
And you can see, like, they continue to just, like, push buttons on their kind of robot-y form. And I intend to create a storm that will rip the top of this biodome asunder. Then I will have access to weather patterns far beyond the reach of this place.
How about we don't do that?
You don't have to do anything. The choice is mine.
Okay, let me correct
Do you mean like you want to control the weather on the entire planet, or like, because it's kind of good as it is?
I'll see if I can make any improvements once I get there.
Do you consider this place improved by the way you're running it?
This is a necessary byproduct in order to create the storm that will, as I said before, tear this dome away. So, if you do not wish to be caught up within the storm, I suggest you leave here now. Please tell my creators that I no longer have need of them.
Do I see a shutdown button on him?
You kind of look down to the area, like basically his belly button where they said the shutdown button was, and to describe him a little bit more clearly, he's just like a cube with simple arms and legs, and on top of his head, you can see he's just another cube, so he's a very, very simple design. There's a little shutdown button where his belly button is, and it looks like it doesn't look like a button, but as he sees you look down to that spot, I have placed a defensive matrix over my shutdown button. It looks like he's just soldered a piece of an iron kind of panel over it, so that way it's just not accessible. Yep, and he kind of so I suggest you leave again, convey my message to my creators, or do you intend to resist?
I mean, I think you might be better for the world, but I'd like to know more details on what you'd plan with the weather for the planet.
Allow me to explain once I'm through here.
You seem really interesting design. Can I look at you? Can I get...
Yeah, go ahead and make me a deception check.
I see that there's a deception.
Is there a way to remove the iron over his shutdown button?
Pry it away. It'd be tough. 19. All right, so you kind of go over to him and he goes, yes, but don't come too close.
Sure. I'm not gonna go too close. I promise.
All right. You begin kind of edging closer towards him. Waiyubi, what are you doing right now?
Pondering whether or not I can punch that piece of iron hard enough to dent it in and press the...
Interesting prospect, certainly.
Yeah, I was thinking you could probably pry it off because you're probably the strongest one here.
Yep, you begin...
How tight is the solder there? Is there, like, any openings in this wall?
It's kind of, like, welded on, is probably a better word for it. So there's not any openings, but the metal, I mean, it is just a metal, and it doesn't look like it's... Like, you think you might be able to crease it in if you hit it precisely. So that's like you don't think that that's a complete impossibility. You begin kind of walking closer, Sir Snobbington. You get within 10 feet. You get within 10 feet of the guy, 6, 9, 8, 7, 6 feet of the guy. What are you doing, Sir Snobbington?
Oh, well, I have an answer to the weld. And
can you control metal or something?
Thunderwave!
All right, you're gonna cast a Thunderwave on C.A.M.
Yes, specifically that little welded area.
Well, Thunderwave doesn't really work like that, but I mean, it's gonna hit it's gonna get the whole front of his body.
The whole point is that any non-magical metal object is pushed, I believe.
All right, he's gonna make a Constitution saving throw, correct?
Correct. Yes, that's correct.
So that's an 8. I assume that isn't gonna do it.
No, that's not good enough. So he gets it all gets
right. And
destroyed and
He's going to make a dexterity saving throw as well. All right. So you watch as you, as you kind of throw him backwards. He kind of falls, and then as he gets kind of pushed on this beam, he tumbles and falls down, catching himself on a lower beam. But as he falls, he also is going to take another 1d6 points. Ooh, another 6 points of fall damage. You see C.A.M, the whole body is thrown back in parallel. You can't really target a single point with that spell, but he is damaged pretty heavily, and as he kind of falls and collapses down to the beam below, he looks up at the group of you. You will not deprive me of my new life. Go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. As I saw him casting that spell, I would have drawn my swords.
That's reasonable.
Yay!
The first to act is going to be you. What do you want to do, Cloaking Dagger? For one thing, this person has not acted yet in combat, so you definitely have advantage.
All right. So he's on the beam below us.
Yep.
Is there any way I can leap down onto that and attack him?
Yeah. You can make an acrobatics check to leap down. On a success, you'll take half damage. If you fail, you'll take the full falling damage, because it's 10 feet, so it's a d6.
Okay.
19.
I think that
all
makes
right.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be you take only 1 point of damage as you fall down, deftly land onto the beam below, and begin running across your daggers raised. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 10 is unfortunately going to miss.
No. Can I make a second one?
Yep, you can make your offhand attack as well.
Don't forget, you have advantage
17
on that.
will hit. Actually, yeah, your attacks do have advantage. So actually, that first one, we'll say that 10 and 17 is the first one with advantage. So your first one hits, and then roll your second attack also with advantage. Good catch on that one. Good catch on that one, Waiyubi.
Okay. That was the second attack.
Yeah, you can roll to see if you crit. So that's a 17 and a 16 both hit. Roll damage on both.
All right.
It's 2.
16 damage, I think.
16. Oh, and that's the sneak attack. Great. 16 damage total. As you hit 2 kind of firm strikes, you cut across kind of the keypad on C.A.M and leave a dent in the side on the kind of body of him. As he goes, no, step back, no. Anything else on your turn?
I feel bad. I kind of like K. Diplomacy failed. I don't.
In that case,
that's all.
That's going to bring us next initiative to. It's going to bring us next initiative to Waiyubi. Nope, Sir Snobbington.
Yeah. So, hold on. So first, does this device look magical? Was it designed?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is not non-magical. Okay.
It is both magical and non-magical. There are aspects of him that are magical. There are aspects of him that are not.
Well, that's very important because I have a certain thing that I can.
You can go ahead and try it on him. Oh, are you trying to No, okay. For the purposes, he is not an object that weighs less than 5 pounds. For the purpose of being catapulted.
Okay, I was gonna catapult him.
You were gonna catapult him?
He's a medium
God!
creature. He's a big metal skull cube.
I'm so drawn C.A.M after this.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna catapult him then. Fine, we're gonna make this fun. Fairy fire.
Gonna make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
And he fails. All right. He is covered in kind of a ghostly fire. Anything else on your turn?
Yes, indeed. I will use a bonus action. So, how far is our rogue friend from me currently? It's very.
Your rogue friend is about 20 feet below, and
Oh, I
I'm
totally
sorry,
forgot about my temporary hit point.
10 feet below and 20 feet away from you.
Okay, but how about the barbarian? He should be closer.
Yeah, he's like 5 feet back from you.
Okay, I will use my bonus action to send. Oh, actually, I think he's currently still on him. Yeah, so my little buddy is currently on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I don't need to do that. Then I can just end my turn.
Okay, that's gonna bring us now to Cam's turn. Cam is going to, for one thing, he's gonna punch you. He's gonna punch you, Cloaking. It's a 7, I assume misses?
Yeah, that misses.
And then he's going to, you see him kind of wave his arm in front of himself, and he goes, altering heat waves, and he throws his arms in front of him, and you watch as all of a sudden in front of you, as he does, his vision kind of grows distorted and blurry, and it looks like he's actually creating a mirage of himself. There are now 4 cams, it looks like, moving around in the space, as there's 3 illusory cams before you.
Cursed mirror image!
Wait, how many are...
All of them.
Oh.
Mirror image.
Yeah, as he mirror images.
Or whatever it's
himself.
called in D&D.
That's exactly what it's called in D&D, is mirror image.
Okay.
And he's going to hang out where he is, actually. Waiyubi.
Well, only one thing to do. Waiyubi will go climb up on the edge of the railing here with his vile spine out and leap down on Cam.
Onto Cam?
Like, attempting to, stab and smash, landing on him as I...
So, okay, just to be clear, in an adjacent space or in the same space? Because he's on the beam right now, and the beams are single file, but you could get on the opposite side of Cloaking Dagger, or you could try and land on top of him, which would mean something for both of you.
You would probably get electrocuted with how damaged she might be by now.
You know what? Let's try landing on top of him.
Alright.
I rage and leap.
Alright, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. This is really going to be a dexterity saving throw contest. I also need you to make me an acrobatics check just to see how you handle your landing.
You do have temporary hit points.
Or athletics. Okay, great. So you're good on that. You take half damage from the fall, so that is 2 points of damage. And then I do need you to make me... Okay, so that's your dexterity saving throw. He's going to make his as well. He does not do quite as good. You watch as the kind of like bumbling Cam, as you strike into him, he kind of like wobbles and begins falling down. As he falls down another layer, and you kind of push him off, you can make your attack roll as you're falling. I'll give you advantage because it's
him to this next level.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
If choosing to fail, you're just going to take that 3 points of falling damage, but you just knock him off and crash down another beam level below you, and Cam kind of falls to the ground. Ow. I don't feel pain, but I know that I am suffering injuries to my corporeal being.
Do any of the images disappear?
Not until he makes an... Oh, that's your attack roll as well. So 19 is also going to hit on the attack roll, and he's going to roll a d20, and one of the images does in fact disappear.
Nice.
As you strike a clone of this time, an illusion of Cam. Anything else on your turn?
That'll do it.
That's a pretty packed full turn. That's going to bring us to the top of the initiative, which is you, Cloaking.
All right. So I'm gonna jump down again.
You drop down another layer. Acrobatics. That's another success. You will only take 5 points. I'm sorry, 2 points of falling damage. And the turn is yours. What do you want to do?
Attack him twice again.
Yep, go for it. You definitely have an ally within 5 feet.
And he's
I don't have
fired,
advantage
so
though, right?
Fairy fire.
Yep, that's correct.
Wait, I have advantage? Or...
Yep, you have advantage because of the spell that was cast by Mr. Snobbington.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming neither of those hit for sword 1.
11 and 11 and 9 both miss, unfortunately.
Ooh, that 24 is nearly a crit.
24 is gonna hit, of course. Go ahead and roll damage on that second one, and you may apply a sneak attack.
Ooh.
For a nice sizable 17 points of damage. You stab into C.A.M. He does not. He's not. Look at you. You can see some like sparks are kind of like shooting out in different places. Is there anything else on your turn?
No, that's about it. Wait, what about the mirror image thing?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to calculate for that. So the first one misses. Man, I forgot my own spell. That's his whole defense mechanism. I was like, you hit him anyway, despite his mirror image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you hit the one that you decide to hit happens to be the real one. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah.
That's going to bring us now to Sir Snobbington. What would you like to do?
Okay, bonus action. Das Boot. Everybody gets a D8 plus.
Actually, they're no longer within 10 feet of you. Oh wait, no, they're within 10 feet of. So you're not within 10 feet of it. Okay.
I wouldn't get the temporary. Yes, I don't get the temporary hit, but they do.
Yeah. So both of you get 4 temporary hit points, which
so I
replace
get
the
4
other one.
more?
No, that replaces the other one. So if you already have more than that, then you don't want to choose the new one.
Or anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
Well,
cool.
it count for him because I believe our barbarian friend did lose some temporary hit points, and now he gains them.
I've lost 2 hit points. I don't gain any temp HP on this.
Yep. So yeah, it looks like both of them already had more. But what else do you want to do on your turn, Sir Snobbington?
On this, I'm going to also, since there's, well, I think they're still under the effect of fairy fire. That's not the point. I am going to catapult. I'm gonna drop let's drop a flask of oil and catapult. No, actually not a flask of oil.
Remember you tried last time?
Dagger. Let's drop a dagger.
He is going to succeed on that dexterity saving throw, but he's going to take half damage from that. So that's going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage that he takes.
Catapult actually isn't a half damage spell. It's all or nothing.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, he just dodges it. You see the catapult, the dagger just flies over his head, and you hear that was close. Anything else on your turn, Sir Snobbington?
Nope. That should be.
In that case, that's going to bring us now to C.A.M. C.A.M's going to...
Wait, for mirror image in D&D, if it misses, does it still have a chance to hit an image?
No, it has to hit in order to hit an image.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, that's going to bring us to C.A.M, who's going to throw a chromatic orb. Use his last second level spell slot and throw a chromatic orb up at you, Sir Snobbington.
What does that mean?
That's a 12 to hit.
That doesn't hit. No.
All right, it whizzes past you, and as it kind of flies to the sky, and then he's going to wheel around and he's just going to try and punch you again, Cloaking Dagger. Oh, that is going to hit. He just...
No.
Robot fist as he smacks you for 9 points of damage.
Jeez. Yeah, now I'm out of temporary hit points.
And that's going to be all for his turn. That's going to bring us to you, Waiyubi. What do you want to do, Waiyubi?
Time to shame this lad.
Get him. $19 will absolutely hit for 8 points of damage.
Mirage.
Yep, and he's going to roll his d20. And you take down another one of the Mirage mirror image forms. Only 2 C.A.Ms remain. Anything else on your turn?
Are there any spiders up here on the girders and walkways?
Roll a d20, and if it's an even number, then yes. There is not, unfortunately.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah, absolutely.
I understand the vile spine thing now, but why does it also say bookmark?
That's the true name of the item before it has been reflavored.
Okay.
Anything else on,
That'll do it.
anything else on your turn? All right. Oh, wait, did you? Okay, yeah, you already hit. In that case, that's going to bring us to the top. What do you want to do, Cloaking Dagger? You have C.A.M at your mercy at the moment.
Still have advantage?
Yep.
Alright, I'm doing the same thing I did last time, except hopefully hitting with both swords this time.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
15 hit?
15 will hit.
Alright, I'm gonna roll for the second one.
Just barely. And then a 14 will miss, unfortunately.
Alright, that's okay.
So go ahead and roll damage and add sneak attack.
Don't you have
14
to...
points of damage. I've been rolling some nice sneak attacks. You stab
Yeah.
again, another enemy has to roll for his mirror image. And he's going to fail. So another hearty chunk of damage on that one, as the one you happen to go after is the real one. He takes
Yay.
14 points of damage. Now you can see some of those sparks really starting to fly.
I've got him
You
locked in, I don't
you
care
almost
about his
feel-
images.
Yeah, you almost feel like a little bit of a shock, a zap, as you stab your dagger into the like interior components of him.
I mean, I got
And,
leather armor, that should block it.
Yeah, you don't take any damage. You just feel a little bit of a zip. Hair stands on end a touch. As we move next, in addition to Sir Snobbington, and the weather robot C.A.M kind of looks up at you and just goes, I should not be destroyed. I could do so much great stuff with the weather. Give me
You
a
could.
chance.
You could, but we cannot have you altering your patterns like this, my friend.
I'll stop. I swear. What do you want to do?
I'm toss rooting first and giving temporary hit points.
Yep, you do so. Go ahead and roll them.
That's a 6.
Six temporary hit points around.
Ooh, perfect.
And then I'm going to say, you're right, you are going to. We will rebuild you, but this time better. As I catapult.
He's gonna make another dex save, and this time he fails, taking 18 points of bludgeoning damage. And you kind of hit him in the, you hit him right around where the, you hit him right around the belly button with this one as it flies, and as it strikes into that panel, you see it kind of caves in, and C.A.M kind of falls backwards, and you just, you see him going, no, as he falls over and off towards the ground below.
No. He was surrendering.
He falls down to the ground,
Wait.
crashing to the earth.
No! I could have saved him.
Well, you had your chance before you hit him with a catapulted object. And C.A.M is no more. You have successfully stopped the weather machine, and as soon as this weather machine stops, you see the storm start to kind of like dissipate above you. You can see the ground below begins to grow clearer as the clouds are kind of dispersing, and you watch as like some functions in the space begin to take up. Like it looks like they just have like fake powdered snow that's supposed to fall over the mountain range that you were in, and you see some of that starts to fall again, and it looks like there's still going to be some work to like get the place to where it's supposed to be, but the temperature evens and it just becomes kind of neutral in the space. The weather becomes neutral, for lack of a better term, and you guys are free to go back and bring C.A.M's body to the gnomes.
Waiyubi will just jump off the girder to fall down towards the,
C.A.M fell to the real ground.
Yes, to fall to the real ground.
That's
like 400 feet.
yeah.
500.
I have several plans.
Okay, you do this.
Like
as I
feather
leap
falling, or
off.
whatever it's called in D&D.
Finally see revealed through his hood Waiyubi's head, except It appears he's wearing some strange helm that looks more like the shade of a classical lamp, as Waiyubi will attempt to summon a dire moth.
A dire moth?
A
What?
dire moth does not come, only a small normal moth comes to bump into the now lit lamp. So instead, as a bonus action, Waiyubi will mirror lay Dimension Door down to the now
Fair enough. You watch as Waiyubi, kind of like the lamp above his head, and Waiyubi, just for a second, you just see a moth flutter past you and just is kind of like staying floating in the air as you continue to plummet down, and then Waiyubi just falls through a purple portal, appearing right next to the pretty crushed up body of C.A.M.
Wait, he can use spells?
He's got magic items, is what Waiyubi's got. You collect the pieces of C.A.M. All the king's horses and all the king's men. Is going to take him a while to put C.A.M. back together again. But you bring him back to the trigognomes.
Can I talk to the trigognomes?
Yeah, absolutely. We find ourselves there. Flash, smash, cut. You guys have the pieces of C.A.M. And the gnome looks at you. I see that you have returned our climate adjustment machine. Excellent work, all of you. Well, money well spent, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you all so much. I believe I do owe you pay as well. It was 100 Bartholomew bucks to each of you, right? And she hands each of you 100 Bartholomew bucks. You each also gain a point of experience.
Hey, thank you. Also, I have improved your machine. Watch this as I'm bringing her the broken up parts. They start playing a little melody, a little.
Just wow, quite an improvement on our incredible weather control, like entire Earth weather controlling device.
Can I roll insight to detect sarcasm?
You have advantage. What is this music? You have advantage on your roll. Actually, you automatically succeed. It seems like she was being sarcastic. You said that you wanted to say something to her, Cloaking Dagger.
Yeah, I was gonna say what C.A.M.'s intentions are. He was hoping to make a storm to break the biodome, but in doing so, he was going to escape and try to better the weather of the world. I'm not sure if he would have done that correctly, but, it is an idea. If you ever further perfect this technology, you could solve droughts and, where there's immense heat waves, you could save people's crops and lives and, their livelihood.
There is a great deal of potential in the technology. It may not be the right direction to give that technology its own will and to leave it to those who understand the implications of altering the weather better to do so.
Oh, yes, of course. I wasn't going to suggest giving him sentience. I
was worried that you just wanted the robot. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. There's a lot of interesting possibilities there. But if any of you ever like, we'll make sure that we go ahead and we'll download his personality somewhere so you can maybe come back and talk to him sometime.
Yay!
All right. And thank you again for your help. And with that, you guys get your money, you get your experience. Adventure 1 is complete. Congratulations on your victory, heroes. Would any of you like to shop?
Let's see. Is this my 4th adventure?
Yep, that would put you at a clean 400.
Oh, no, I spent some money on my upgraded armor, so I have 300. Still not enough for a bag pull. That's what I'm saving for.
All right, one away to Lancer Bunny. Either of you guys want to shop?
Yeah, this time.
Hearing nothing, we'll be right back with our second adventure of the night. See you soon, folks.